As a continuation on my last video, today I will be teaching about teas and delving into the different ways of making them, namely infusions and decoctions. Learning how to craft medicinal teas is essential to practicing herbal medicine. It is one of the most widely accessible, versatile, and functional ways of taking medicine internally. And there are many other uses of it beyond that as well. Tea is made most commonly using water to extract medicinal compounds, which is both a very affordable means of extracting medicine and also a fairly enjoyable one as well. Water is a beautiful solvent for minerals, mucilage, and most medicinal constituents. However, it does not easily extract resins and some alkaloids. In cases like this, it is better to craft alcohol-based tinctures. Alcohol does a much better job of picking up where water can't. But this is all something we will delve into either next week or the week after when I teach a base recipe lesson on tinctures, which once you have the knowledge of crafting an infusion or decoction along with tinctures, you will have access to just about all the useful medicines that you can take internally. But again, that is for another day. Another downside of tea where you may choose to use a tincture or other form of medicine would be when the flavor of the tea is horrible. There are quite a few medicinal herbs that are just not so enjoyable to ingest in the form of a tea, and in these cases I tend to prefer going the tincture route, unless what you are working on extracting are minerals or mucilage, which is this slimy stuff that works really wonderful when trying to soothe and protect unhappy mucous membranes and the skin. Now, before we delve into picking apart infusions and decoctions, this video is sponsored. Thank you to Birch Living for sponsoring this video. Like most people, sleep is very important to me. I am somebody who has a very diverse sleep schedule. Depends on the season. Currently, as it is summertime and it is light until really late at night, I've been just going to bed really late at night. And in the wintertime, I go to bed too early. Often I'm somebody who wakes up in and out in the night. My dogs are very busy sleepers and they like to sometimes play at 3 in the morning. And they're too cute that I can't say no. So ultimately, it's very important to me to have a mattress that works really well for random sleeping hours and snuggles with puppies. And Birch Living is a perfect option for this. Birch is a premium mattress in a box company that makes mattresses and sleep products that are stylish, comfortable, and environmentally conscious. Their non-toxic mattresses are made right here in America and are crafted with organic and natural materials that have been sustainably sourced. It is specially created with breathability, cooling, and support in mind, and offers increased airflow and targeted zoned lumbar support. And as it is summertime now and I live in an apartment without AC, the breathability and all that business is very nice to keep me cool in these very hot months. And to make it all the better, it was really important to me to pick a mattress that is made with organic and natural materials because I know the mattress I'm sleeping on is made with raw materials sourced straight from nature, which are both comfortable and durable. And in addition to being a better mattress for me, Birch is committed to being a better mattress for the environment. I love that Birch works with ethical partners that adhere to strict social, environmental, and economic standards. Also, I've been sleeping on this mattress for 3 months, going on 4 months now, and it is wonderful. It is perhaps the most comfortable mattress I've ever slept on, and my dogs love it. They spend all of their time up there and don't leave enough space for me ever. Also, I find myself falling asleep a lot faster and staying asleep longer than I probably should just because of how comfortable it is. With your Birch mattress, you'll get a 100-night sleep trial along with a 25-year warranty. If it makes you nervous to buy something that you haven't tried, you'll have more than 3 months to figure out if you love it. And ultimately, if you end up not loving it, you'll get a full refund and they'll come by and pick it up for you. Speaking of, one of the best parts about the Birch mattress is it comes right to your door for free in the US. It comes rolled up in a box and it is super easy to set up by yourself. Each Birch mattress also comes with 2 free Eco Rest pillows. They're made from recycled plastic bottles, they're breathable, and they're better for the environment. I love my Birch mattress and I think you will too. And if you're looking for a new bed, I would recommend checking out Birch. You can click the link down below or go to birchliving.com/greenwich. Here you'll get $400 off your mattress plus 2 free pillows. Thanks again to Birch Living for sponsoring, and let's get back to the video. Welcome back. Let's delve into infusions first. Infusions are probably the most well-known form of crafting teas. It's something that most of us have done in our lifetime and many of us do every single day. Infusions are primarily used when you're working with lightweight plant materials such as leaves, flowers, and fruits. Additionally, pungent herbs or herbs with a high amount of volatile oils are usually made with infusions instead of decoctions, regardless of the part of the plant being used. To make an infusion is very simple. All you need is a mug and a teapot or something to boil water in. Add your herbs into your mug, set a pot to boil. Once it's boiling, pour it over. Cover it. This is very important. You want to keep all of that medicinal value inside your mug without letting it evaporate out, and allow it to infuse, depending on the herb, for 5 to 20 minutes. 20 minutes is a good baseline for medicinal herbs, but some things will be better shorter or somewhere in between. It is beyond the scope of this video to delve into how long to boil or allow each herb to steep, but I will include a resource at the end that I recommend for understanding individual herbs and with dosing requirements and time and preparation. But once your time is up, strain the herbs if you'd like and enjoy. Infusions will keep fresh for about 12 hours unrefrigerated and 3 days refrigerated. So they're a medicine that you have to use quickly, but they're a medicine that you can make very quickly, which is super duper useful. Now, decoctions, on the other hand, are very similar to infusions. However, instead of steeping the herbs, you boil them. This method is preferred for bark, roots, non-aromatic seeds, and medicinal mushrooms. And to make, you simply need to add your herbs and your water to a pot, pop it on the stove, bring it up to a boil, and then allow it to simmer. Usually around 20 to 40 minutes is what I found. 20 minutes is a good baseline. Make sure to have a lid on. Again, you don't want all of that beautiful medicinal greatness to evaporate away. And then once it's done, take it off the heat, strain out the herbs if you'd like, and enjoy. Decoctions will last the same amount of time as an infusion, 12 hours unrefrigerated and 3 days refrigerated. Now, if you're wishing to work with herbs that are different, one needs to be prepared in a decoction and the other in an infusion. It's very simple. Start by making your decoction, put your herbs that need to be processed that way into your pot on the stove with water, cook it down for however long it needs to with the lid on, then turn off the heat, add in your herbs that need to infuse, cover it again, and allow it to set for that 20 minutes or however long is best for that specific herb. Then enjoy. Now, when it comes to the proportions of herbs used in either of these, it is not as straightforward. Every herb is going to be different, but in general, especially with food-safe herbs, which I would recommend you starting out with until you get comfortable with that. Food-safe herbs include things like dandelion, hibiscus, elderberry, and calendula, along with basil, things like that. Any herbs that you can eat in great quantities or have been traditionally eaten in greater quantities, those are food-safe herbs. Those you can be a little bit less careful with how much you're adding to a preparation, as they are safe to consume in larger amounts. If you're working with more delicate medicines or ones that have a great chance for side effects or interactions, it is important to be very careful with how much of the herb you are adding, and I recommend working based off of weight of the herb to the water. Once again, it is beyond the scope of this video to give every single herb and its amount per preparation, but I would recommend Medicinal Herbalism by David Hoffman. That book does go into great detail with all of these things, and there are many other reputable books that you can get your hands on that will give you the dosage requirements and expectations with each herb and where they are best used medicinally. However, again, for the food-safe ones, I tend to go by more of a folkloric way of doing it, which usually just includes me putting a good pinch that seems about right in. But in general, it's about 1 teaspoon of dried herbs per 1 cup of water, or 2 tablespoons of fresh herb for 1 to 1 cup of water. Again, this is going to be different with some herbs. Anything that has a really pungent flavor, you're gonna wanna do less than that. And anything that may cause an adverse reaction, you may wanna do less than that or feel it out. Additionally, this dosage will vary greatly depending on the herbs you're using, which is why going by weight methods tends to be better, especially if you are using something that you have to be careful with. So it's definitely something to feel out. Experiment with the strength of the tea using just your senses, especially if you're experimenting with food-safe herbs. But I would recommend getting your hands on a good book that explains the proper dosages based on people. Usually you'll find dosages, they're based on an adult that's 150 pounds. And so you can do some math to figure out where you sit into that. This is especially important if you are making medicine for children, as they can be so much smaller than an adult and you don't want to give them too much. So keep that in mind. That tends to be where they sit, but if you're reading a good book, they'll let you know what the dosing is based upon. And additionally, each person is going to be different. Somebody who has more of a weakened body at the time may not do as well with herbs that are pretty strong and may have some side effects. So definitely cater your dosages to who you are preparing the medicine for. But if you're starting with food safe herbs, and many of the teas and regular things that you see on the shelves are that. Chamomile, basil, hibiscus. Those are very easily accessible herbs that do carry a lot of beautiful medicinal values. But you don't have to be as concerned about the dosing. Nettles, that's another great one. And that's about it when it comes to making medicinal teas through infusions or decoctions. You can also use them as washes on the body. I like to use them as a base to my syrups. They are a very big part of making herbal honeys. I always make a tea alongside a tincture to add to the honey. It creates a very stable medicine that is very enjoyable to take. And not to mention, tea is just one of the most valued and accessible medicines on the planet. And having an understanding of how to craft it and work with herbs in this way is incredibly valuable. So I hope you were able to learn something, maybe the differences between infusions and decoctions. Maybe it's something you already knew and we're just able to hang out and enjoy talking about tea. But it is a valuable thing to have under your belt and have some awareness of. Like I said, I will delve more into tinctures soon and then continue to build from there into all of these other medicinal preparations. Also, once I have finished sharing these base understandings of these preparations, I will share with you some of my favorite recipes and herbal remedies using these preparations, which all will be very exciting. So thank you so much for watching. If you can and would like to, I'd really appreciate it if you checked out my Patreon. There I share art, herbal profiles, book recommendations, and I've even started doing workshops. They're a monthly live stream delving into a topic that you all pick, and it is a ton of fun. It's a beautiful interactive lesson that I just really enjoy. Also, if you haven't checked it out yet, I have a second channel where I share more vlogs of my daily life. There's far more herbalism over there and nature and those fun things if you're interested in it. So I hope to see you there, and yeah, I will see you soon. Thanks so much for watching.